All right, today we're going to be talking about some knife offerings from... Oh, wait a minute. My bad. All right, that's better. It was getting way too hot in here. Today, we're talking about some knife offerings from a company called Odenwolf. About a year and a half ago, I did a review on one of their knives, and a lot of you really gravitated to that, and that made Odenwolf happy, so they sent me a whole bunch more knives to present to all of you. I love knives. I love looking at them. I love having that collection, but I can also admit that I'm not as well versed when it comes to knives the way some of you might be. There's just so many different kind of grind types and metals and handles, and because there's such a variety of knives out there and people make them differently and they have different uses, it's just so much to keep tabs of, and so a lot of times I may not know a whole bunch. And I say that to say that if at any time in this video I might say something wrong, feel free to comment below and teach me, because I would love to learn from all of you. Today we have a sampling of Odenwolf's Bushcraft knives. A couple things I really like about Odenwolf is that they are very, very strong knives. In fact, the one that I first reviewed, I've been using that a long time, and I would drop it and I would use it to death and it just won't break. But the second reason is that not only will the knife not break, it also won't break the bank. And you need a couple of budget knives in your collection, especially the ones that you use often, because these are the kind of knives that you won't feel so guilty about loaning to somebody and then worry that they might lose it or break it. In fact, you don't even have to worry about you losing it, because if you do, it didn't really cost you that much. Whereas those higher end, more premium knives, you lose one of those and I can guarantee you that you're going to be crying all night. Ask me how I know. God, I miss my SE5. Ugh. You belong to the forest now, my friend. Now, out of these three knives, two of them are not really my style. It doesn't really fit what it is that I use knives for, but one of them I absolutely love and I am keeping forever. You'll know by the end of this video which one that is, so let's walk through them. All Odenwolf knives, when you buy them, they come with a polypropylene sheath. They make it simple so that you can basically customize this however you want. It all has your eyelets all over the outside of it, so you can attach accessories and other different kind of backing. So if you want to scout carry, or if you want to carry on a backpack, or whatever it is, however you want to carry your knife, they give you all the eyelets you need to add whatever accessories you want. Now, Odenwolf handles, they're all made with a TPE material, or thermoplastic elastomer, if that's how that's pronounced. Personally, I'm a micarta guy. I love micarta handles. I love how they age. I love how they look. But coming a close second is TPE. The other knife that I have with Odenwolf, I just love how it grips, and you could see the way they designed the handle here. You have some ridges along the sides here, and then you have a crisscross pattern on the front and back. So especially when in the summertime when my hands are really sweaty, gripping these makes it very easy. The sheath that holds the knife, this one, I mean, that's if you're really turning this thing upside down. I feel like they need some sort of screw system up at the top that you can tighten or loosen so that this can be held on just a little bit tighter. Now, these are the three knives, and I wanted to show you the three different finishes that Odenwolf has on all of their knives, because I have a sampling of all three right here. First one is stonewash, which I really like a ton. In fact, I even did like a stonewash on some of my other knives just because I like the way it just looks. Then they have what they call satin, which is more of a polished kind of look. And then they have an all black, which I also really like. I like stonewash in black. I'm not such a huge fan of polished knives, but a lot of you have said that you would prefer something like this because the black, this tends to wear out over time. So maybe polished is good, but if I had a choice, I would go with stonewash every time. I just think it looks really nice. Now, all the blades of these knives are made with D2 steel. D2 steel means that it's carbon based. You're gonna get a much tougher knife, very hard to break, and also you're gonna get really good edge retention. You won't need to sharpen it as often. That being said, carbon based steel is always harder to sharpen, and unfortunately sharpening is like my weak point. I keep trying to practice, but sharpening I'm not the best at, and either I just am not doing it right or I just don't have the right equipment. Any of you have any tips on how to better sharpen a knife, let me know, because I suck at it and I want to get better. Outside of those things though, these three knives could not be any more different, so let's go through each one. Now, first up is the W Catcher. That's the name of this thing, and it's actually marketed as a hunting knife and not a bushcraft knife. Comes in at about $53.90. Has a drop point right here, and I tried to look up what kind of grind it has. I'm guessing it's a flat grind, but I don't know. It doesn't say on their website what kind it is. It has the same kind of handle, has all the ridges on the side, crisscross pattern, front and back. Also has a guard here to keep your hand from slipping through. And then you also have an eyelet here so you can put cordage or whatever, any lanyard that you might want to put on there. And again, with the sheath, you have all the different eyelets for you to customize. I'm not aware of why they used this kind of sheath with this shaped knife. I would have thought that they would have used a different kind of sheath that would basically match the contours of this a little bit more, because if you can see, it's not really the same kind of style, and maybe that's what's kind of making this one slip out just a little bit easier than most. Again, D2 steel, and the options you have with these when it comes to the blades, you have the black, you have the stonewash, and you have the satin, so you can choose which one you like. And then when it comes to handles, you have green or black. With the sheath, you have green and black options for that as well, so you can basically mix and match however it is you want this thing to be. Now, personally, this is not really my style of knife, but for some of you, this might be just the kind of knife that you need. I've just never been in a situation that I would need a knife like this, unless maybe I was, I don't know, fighting a bear or something. But for some of you, this might just be the ticket. Now, the next knife is the W Soul Catcher at $54.90. Very similar to the W Catcher, but the only difference is you don't get a black option with this. This only either comes in olive dap green, as you see here, or orange. So you get a choice of green or orange for the handle and the sheath. And then as far as the finish on the blade, you only get two options for that as well. You only get either the stonewash or the satin. It does not come in black. Also to note, I don't think any of the, well, none of these are full tang knives. I just don't know what kind of tang it has at the end of this, and you can feel that too when you're holding this. You can tell that it's not as heavy on this side. So balance wise, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of momentum with this because it's heavier here, but you don't feel the weight on it on the handle. I like full tang knives. I like the security of having the entire thing just be full like that, and I can grip it. But for some of you who need to be able to swing and you want that top heaviness on there, then that's what the W Catcher and the Soul Catcher will give you. As far as the blade, double-edged spear point style knife. Looks to be flat grind on both sides. Again, it doesn't say on the website what kind it is. This is also not the kind of knife that I've ever needed in my scenarios, but for some of you who might need something like this, then that's the W Soul Catcher. And then finally, my favorite knife out of the bunch, the W Machete, and I love this knife. And this comes in at about $89.90. I love the size of this machete a lot because I have a machete now and it's pretty big, and I've never needed a machete that big. This is perfect, cutting down limbs and whatnot. I looked up different kind of machetes that are out there, and there's so many. If I had to guess, this would be a bush machete. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments below, but I didn't see anything that kind of matched this kind of style of machete online. But this would probably be good for clearing foliage and whatever it is that you need to clear. Option wise, as far as colors, you get black or olive for the handles and the sheath, and then for the actual blade itself, you get the three options. You get stonewash, you get black, and then you get the satin, which is what I have here. If I had a choice, I would rather have all black with a stonewash finish. That would be ideal for me, but beggars can't be choosers. I will definitely be using this and replacing my bigger one in the vehicle with one of these, because this I can see myself using around camp and on the trails, whereas I've never really needed to use the bigger one that I've had before. Looks like flat grind. This one's a little bit easier to see, and then you also get some jimping right here, so I definitely have basically some grip if you really needed to push this thing, because there really isn't a retention here for your hand to not slip off where you had it with these, where you have that kind of that retention right there. You don't really get that here, but you do get a nice grip here. It's not like a flat handle like this. You get actual finger places, so get a good grip on that, and you get some jimping here if you really need extra strength. This is definitely the knife that I really want to customize this thing. I want to add maybe a fire starter to one side of it, maybe add look for different options out there for maybe how to carry this, because I do like this the way it is, but this is one of those knives that I know that I'm going to keep for a long time and probably use on the trails a ton, so I definitely want to customize this bad boy. This one I like a lot. I just wish they gave me the stonewashed version of this. Maybe I could trade it in or something. But yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. All right, bonus, this is the W Picnic, and this comes in at $14.90. When I first got this, I was like, ooh, a pocket knife. Well, not really. It's more of a folding serrated knife. I mean, you can everyday carry this if that's the kind of thing you need, like if you cut bread a lot. I don't know. I mean, this is also really good for cutting rope as well. So if you find yourself needing a serrated edged knife a ton, then this might be something that you might want to EDC. The blade is made of a 420 steel, and you do get the three options for this. You do get the satin, which is what this is, and you also get stonewash and you get black. And then as far as the handles, you have a choice of olive dab green or black. This is a liner lock, which isn't bad. I'm more of a axis lock or button lock kind of guy, but third place would be a liner lock. It's not a frame lock, so it's basically the liner that's inside. The only thing that sucks about this particular knife is that there's no belt clip, so if you do need to everyday carry this, there's no belt clip on here, and there's not really an option for you to add one. And there's also nothing on here that will allow me to flip it open pretty quickly. Like, there's no studs here, there's nothing to grip on. Even at the top, there's no like ridges on there that I can just kind of grab and pull open. So you physically have to manually open this, kind of like a slip joint. I mean, even a slip joint has something on here that you can kind of grab onto and flip open for those of you who are really skilled enough to do that, but this one is just all flat, so you do have to manually open this yourself. But at $14.90, not bad at all. This will pretty much live in my utensil case, where all of my other knives and forks and spoons and everything, that's where this is gonna live, because I can definitely use this for like spreading and butter, jams, or whatever it is, or cutting bread and stuff. This will be good for that, and I can get rid of the bigger bread knife that I have in that kit. So yeah, the W Picnic, great value, good knife. I mean, for some of you that might want something like this. But anyway, that's it. That's my review of the Odenwolf hunting and bushcrafting knives, the Machete, the W Soul Catcher, and the W Catcher. I really like the Machete a ton, you guys. I'm definitely keeping this. One of these other ones I'm going to give to my father-in-law. He's an avid knife collector, so I'm going to ask him to choose which one he wants. And then the other one, I don't know, maybe we'll do a giveaway or something like that. I have a bunch of other stuff here that I'm also not using that's brand new that I still need to review, but I might just lump them all into like a giveaway or something. Stay tuned so that you can know when we decide to do that. If you like this video, please make sure you don't smash, slice up that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also click that notification bell so you can be made aware of videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to all of our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time.